Imagine a dark backwater in the Amazon, still as glass. Suddenly, the water erupts. A long serpentine body surges upward, not in flight, but with purpose. It climbs out of its own world and into ours, pressing its chin against a threat, a caiman's snout, a fisherman's oar. The animal holding the oar feels a sharp, buzzing jolt travel up their wet hands, a shock that feels impossibly strong. The fish did that deliberately. It left the water for a single stunning reason, to make its electricity hit harder. This isn't just an attack, it's a calculated act of physics, turning the air itself into part of its circuit. Now, meet the architect of this incredible feat. We call it an electric eel, but nature has played a little trick on us. This animal is not a true eel at all. It's a type of knifefish, a uniquely South American group of fishes that are more closely related to carp and catfish. True eels are an entirely different order of fish, mostly living in the ocean. Our electric eel is a freshwater specialist, a master of a very different environment. It moves not by flexing its whole body, but with a graceful, hypnotic ripple of a single long fin that runs the length of its belly, allowing it to glide forwards and backwards with equal precision through the tangled, murky world it calls home. Its home is the slow, winding heart of the Amazon and Orinoco river basins. Think of flooded forests where the water is the color of strong tea, stained by decaying leaves. Think of swamps and muddy ponds where visibility is measured in inches, not feet. In this world, sight is a secondary sense. But there's another challenge here. In the tropical heat, this stagnant water often holds very little dissolved oxygen. For most fish, that's a death sentence. For the electric knifefish, it's just a problem to be solved. So it evolved a backup system. It breathes air. Every few minutes, it has to rise to the surface, break the water film, and gulp. It doesn't have lungs. Instead, the lining of its mouth is elaborately folded and packed with blood vessels, acting as a temporary air-breathing organ. This is a creature that has gone all in on a single superpower. Its entire body plan has been radically redesigned around the generation of electricity. An astonishing 4/5 of its body length is dedicated to its electric organs. All of its vital systems, the stomach, the intestines, the heart, are compressed into the front 20% of its body, right behind the head. It's a profound biological trade-off, as if you moved your entire kitchen and bedroom into a small closet to turn the rest of your house into a massive power plant. And this power plant can grow to an impressive size. Adults commonly reach 2 meters, or about 6.5 feet, with historical accounts of giants stretching closer to 2.5 meters. It's less of a fish and more of a living, swimming, high-voltage cable. So where does this incredible voltage come from? The answer lies in an evolutionary masterstroke, the transformation of muscle into something entirely new. Over millions of years, ordinary muscle cells in the fish's flank were repurposed. They lost their ability to contract and became flattened, specialized battery cells called electrocytes. Each individual electrocyte is a tiny biological battery, generating only about 1/10 of a volt. But the fish doesn't just have a few, it has thousands, 5,000 to 6,000 of them in a large adult, all stacked in long, orderly columns. Like batteries in a flashlight, these cells are arranged in series, so their voltages add up. When the brain sends the signal, thousands of tiny doors open at once, and all those tiny voltages combine in a single, instantaneous, high-voltage discharge. Remarkably, this fish operates 2 completely separate electrical systems for 2 very different purposes. It lives a double life, one of quiet sensing, the other of shocking violence. The first system, generated by an organ called the Sachs organ, is its low-voltage grid. This is the fish's eyes and ears in the murky water. It constantly emits weak pulses, creating an electric field around its body. Any object that enters this field, a rock, a log, another fish, distorts it, and the eel reads those distortions with hundreds of receptors on its skin. It is, in essence, seeing with electricity. This gentle hum is also used to communicate with other electric knifefish, a silent language of pulses in the dark. Then there is the loud grid. This is the weapon. Generated by the mane and hunter's organs, this system unleashes the devastating high-voltage volleys. These aren't a continuous current but a rapid-fire burst of incredibly short pulses, each lasting only a millisecond or two. But the fish can fire them at a rate of up to 400 times per second. It's not a simple zap, it's an overwhelming barrage, a biological strobe light of pure power designed to do one thing: hijack the nervous system of its prey. And the way it uses this weapon is pure tactical genius. Imagine a small fish, hidden and perfectly still among the sunken leaves. The eel can't see it, but it suspects something is near, so it sends out a very specific signal. A quick high-voltage doublet, 2 pulses fired in rapid succession. This signal is a perfect mimic of the nerve impulse that causes a muscle to contract. The hidden fish has no choice. Its own nervous system is commandeered, its muscles fire involuntarily, and it gives a single, violent twitch. The hiding spot is betrayed. The eel instantly detects the movement and unleashes the main volley. This rapid train of pulses doesn't just shock the prey, it causes full-body muscle lockup, a state called tetany. Every muscle contracts at once, freezing the fish rigid in the water, ready to be swallowed. When facing larger, more powerful prey, the eel has another move to maximize its power. It curls its body. By bending into a C shape, it strategically places the positive pole of its electric organ, its head, and the negative pole, its tail, on opposite sides of its struggling victim. This simple maneuver dramatically concentrates the electric field, forcing much more of the current to flow directly through the prey's body rather than dissipating into the surrounding water. It's the difference between a glancing blow and a direct hit, a tactic that doubles the shock's intensity and ends the fight in seconds. The fish isn't just a battery, it's a battery that knows how to aim. Which brings us back to that astonishing leap. Why does it work? In water, electricity is lazy. It will always take the path of least resistance. When the eel shocks a target underwater, the current spreads out in all directions, with much of it bypassing the target entirely. But by leaping, the eel rewrites the rules of its own circuit. It keeps its tail, the negative pole, in the water, but raises its head, the positive pole, into the air, pressing it directly against the target. Air is a fantastic insulator. Electricity can't flow through it easily. Suddenly, the best, most direct path for the current to complete its circuit is no longer the water, but up through the target, through its wet skin, and back down into the water where the tail is. By cutting off the watery escape routes, the eel forces a much higher density of current through its victim, delivering a far more potent and painful shock. For over 250 years, since it was first described, we thought there was just one species of electric eel. But the Amazon is vast, and it holds its secrets well. In 2019, a comprehensive study of their genetics and anatomy revealed a shocking truth. There are actually distinct species. They named them Electrophorus electricus, Electrophorus varii, and a newcomer, Electrophorus voltai. And it was this third species, named in honor of Alessandro Volta, the inventor of the battery, that shattered the record books. Researchers measured a discharge from voltai at an incredible 860 volts. To put that in perspective, a standard wall socket in North America is 120 volts. This animal is producing over 7 times that power. It is, by a wide margin, the most powerful living battery on Earth. This discovery of the leaping attack cast a fascinating new light on a very old story. In the year 1800, the legendary naturalist Alexander von Humboldt described a dramatic scene where local fishermen drove horses into a muddy pond to tire out the electric eels, which supposedly leaped up to shock the struggling mammals. For 2 centuries, scientists largely dismissed the story as a romantic exaggeration. But in 2016, biologist Kenneth Catania demonstrated that the leaping, high-voltage press was a real, repeatable defensive behavior. While Humboldt's account was likely dramatized, its core premise, a fish deliberately leaving the water to deliver a powerful shock through air and wet skin, was suddenly entirely plausible. History's tall tale had found its roots in scientific fact. So, is this fish a deadly threat to humans? While a shock of several hundred volts sounds terrifying, lethal encounters are extremely rare. The danger is less about the shock itself and more about what happens next. A sustained volley can easily incapacitate a person, causing muscle contraction and intense pain that could lead to drowning. The greatest risk comes from multiple shocks or being knocked off your feet in the water. This isn't a monster of the deep, but it is a powerful animal that has earned its space and its solitude. It commands respect, not with teeth or claws, but with the fundamental force of electricity itself. In a world of murky water and thin oxygen, evolution took a common building block, a muscle cell, and forged it into a living battery. It created an animal that navigates a dark world with a whisper of current, speaks to its own kind in a silent language of pulses, and hunts its prey by seizing control of their very nerves. And when threatened, it has the audacity to climb out of its own element, to push its power into our world, and make its lightning land exactly where it wants. The Amazon hides marvels that rearrange our sense of the possible, and in its brown rivers, a ribbon of a fish aims electricity like a perfectly crafted tool. If this kind of nature story is your thing, stick around. Faunery is all about animals that bend the rules. Subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed this one. There are more wonders waiting on the channel. See you next time.